Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Part 2, The Sequel Continued.
A podcast where we watch movies with some friends, discuss them, and then think of a sequel that really should never have been thought of in the first place.
At all, like a cryptid. I am your roommate, Roger.
And I'm your roommate, Xavier.
And this week's newest roommate, everyone should know by name. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hello, I am Payton Petkus, and I'm the one that has written the music that you hear at the start of the past few episodes.
Yes, start and the end of the episodes. So everybody, give it a warm welcome here. Payton, thank you for joining us. This week we watched a movie that was a little bit out of our wheelhouse, and Xavier is going to give you a one-sentence explanation of what that movie was. Go ahead, Xavier.
Right, this week we watched a hallmark cliche about a small-town girl and a city boy working out their differences while also working in a year-round Christmas hat shop called Hats Off to Christmas. And hey, that's also the name of the movie. Oh, and did we mention little wheelchair boys and pumpkin carving and a very slow soapbox derby race? This movie had it all. Romance, action, old men falling from ladders, and very poorly explained corporate structure.
Okay. Avoiding the fact that was definitely not one sentence, I'm actually more disappointed we didn't get to see the old man falling off the ladder.
No, but I called it like the second that guy walked away.
He really did, like while the movie was going. There was just something ominous about his gait. Now, Payton, you requested a Hallmark film. Is there any specific reason for that?
Yeah, so the thing about Hallmark movies is they're all pretty much the same movie in this like weird microcosm where for some reason they just remake the same exact thing time and time again. Except this one, I would argue, is actually a subversive masterpiece of authorship cinema. See, in the typical Hallmark movie, it's the busy woman and she wears red and she has no time for Christmas and she doesn't want to do anything with it. And it's the, small city boy that takes everyone on the great magical and Christmas adventure. But this movie decides to swap the roles, and also at the same time, instead of having one person not even related to Christmas at all, we are in a capitalist hellscape in which everyone is operating from a Christmas shop.
Did you have that written down?
I did not.
That was fantastic.
Yeah, I will say this movie was a little different. It was also the only one we could find like for free because Hallmark likes to charge out the ass for everything they sell. We got very close to choosing another movie. I can't remember what it was called. Oh, Mistletoe Mishap or something like that.
Yeah, something
or
like
Mix
that.
Up. And literally the synopsis said, this is a businesswoman with no time for romance or the holidays. And the second I read that, I was like, oh, this would be perfect as well. But it was not a Hallmark movie, and we wanted to stick to Hallmark. So we went with the only one that we could find for free.
Right. If for everyone listening in the future, we're currently in the month of December. So 'tis the season is the reason we're doing this. So Payton, I know you've listened to a few episodes, kind of get a scope of how the formula works. I'm going to be asking you and Xavier a few trivia questions about the movie just to kind of introduce the concept and ideas to the audience as well, kind of a surrogate kind of way. So I'm going to ask the question. Payton, you're going to answer it first, and then Xavier's going to answer. We're going to move on from there, okay?
All right.
All right. Both of you can work together on this one because usually the first thing I ask is always, what can you name all the characters you remember? Okay, so you two have fun with this.
So I actually took notes to make sure I wouldn't look stupid and have egg in
Oh,
my face during
wonderful.
this section. So we have, and I'm not going to look at them. I'm still going to do it by memory, but I did try to take notes. So we have Mia. Mia, also referred to as Maya in a mean way. She is the main protagonist, and she works at Hats Off to Christmas.
She's also played by Haley Duff.
Haley, yeah, the older sister
Haley,
to
right? Haley Duff. Yeah, Hillary Duff's older sister plays the main character in this movie.
Yeah, and then we also have Nick, who is the heartthrob or the love interest of this movie. Let's see. We also have the son, Scott or Scotty, I think.
Now, there's aspects about his character I don't want to be spoiled just yet.
Okay, sounds good.
Just know that Scotty is the son.
Yes, that's the son. And then we have the old guy. Oh God, that we mentioned earlier. His name is
Phil.
Phil.
Oh yeah, Phil.
Yep. And then we also have the business owner of this place, which is Michael. I think I want to say.
I don't remember the owner's name, but don't forget Phil's foreman, Sam.
That is
Yes.
correct, Sam Jones.
And then what's her sidekick's name? Her babysitter or whatever.
The babysitter's name is Ellie.
Ellie.
I took notes and I couldn't get that, so I'm glad you have that.
Yeah.
Ellie, the one person who they never explain what their relationship is.
Yeah,
at
at
all.
first I thought it was Mia's sister, but like that's not clear if it is, or if like she maybe works part-time at the store.
Well, no,
but
because
it
she's
is-
offering her a job to work with her in like finance or something.
Right.
So I
But
have no
apparently
idea
doesn't
what
pay
was
well
going
enough
on there.
because she's babysitting this boy the entire movie.
Maybe it was like a sister-in-law or something. I don't know.
I was very lost in that
Yeah.
character personally.
So we have the owner of the company whose name was Mr. Bowers. They may have said his first name at some point, so Michael might be right. If they did, I don't remember it. We also have Valerie Fry, the banking,
bank.
yeah, the banker.
What?
Oh my
I
God,
can't think of
I
her
forgot her
title.
name.
Wait, what did you
She
say
was
her
like an
name was? I
auditor or
forgot what it
something.
was. I know it starts with a V, I think.
Valerie Fry.
Valerie. Okay.
Yeah, she was some kind of representative, like auditor person for the bank. We have Sam Jones, the warehouse foreman. Phil, the warehouse worker, who is usually the yearly Santa.
Yes.
And he makes a joke early in the movie, and that comes back way later. Kind of, I don't know. That seems kind of useless to me. Okay, well let's move on. Question number 1. We're introduced to Mia, who works at Hats Off to Christmas, where every day is Christmas. What do they sell, Peyton?
They sell primarily hats, and they're stored at this point in the movie in the front of the window on the side, like right next to the door.
Yes.
It's very
mainly,
specific.
yeah, because that comes into play later.
It does.
Mainly hats, and then they also specify Christmas wrapping paper and ornaments.
That is correct. I have Christmas hats, ornaments, and wrapping paper. Just as a bonus, how many different styles of hats do they have?
Oh Lord,
At least
too many.
3.
So in the movie, there is a line that does confirm that they have at least 100 different styles of hats,
Jesus.
which seems like too much. Question number 2. Mia has been working for this company for the past 10 years and believes she was going to be getting a promotion when her boss, Mr. Bowers, invites her to talk about the future of the business. How does that meeting shake out, Peyton?
She horribly misread, honestly, his terribly communicated cues, and she has to mentor his son for the job that she wanted.
Okay, Xavier?
Yes, exactly. I believe Mr. Bowers specifically said, I want to run some things about the future of our company by you, which would make anyone think like, oh, I'm going into upper management, which the structure of this company makes no sense. And I guess that's why they get into it a lot within the movie about it being a small business, not run
Sure.
properly. Because they were this woman who literally just kind of manages the store. She like reads invoices, I guess, and she thought she was going to become the CFO. So definitely some kind of weird ladder to climb there.
Definitely so. Yes, so Nick, Mr. Bowers' son, is coming down from New York from his very busy professional life to take the position Mia thought she was going to get, and she will be the one mentoring him. It is presented in the movie that the old CEO, or the CFO rather, retired, and that position needed to be filled, but hasn't been yet. So it's kind of an offhand comment. So question number 3, Mia finally meets Nick. What's he like?
He wears all black and gray, and he refuses to wear hats at the Christmas store. And he is extremely cold to customers, not being presentable to them for a lowly, or not lowly, but small time store.
Okay.
Yes, for someone who grew up in this town and probably worked in this store before and knows literally everybody that works for his company because he grew up with all of them. And apparently this is the only place in town that hires anyone. Yeah, they kind of just try to make him look like a dick by not wanting to form relationships because he doesn't plan on staying very long. Well dressed, I guess. His suits look very cheap in this movie. And then, he's just kind of like, I'm too busy for this stuff. Let me get this done and get the hell out of here.
Yes. So both of you are correct. I'm not even going to read my answer. That's all there is to know about this guy. Question number 4. Scotty, the son, has a big day at the doctor's office coming up. Hey, Peyton, why does he have a big day at the doctor's office?
So, explain to us very directly, which once again is a great example of authorship. You know, some people would rather show it rather than tell it, but they show it, focus the camera on it for like several seconds to make sure you really, really get it in what his affliction is. And Scotty is in a wheelchair because of an accident. I think like a car accident or something.
Okay.
It's not really explained.
Xavier?
Yeah. So, earlier in the movie, they're having breakfast, and Mia is like, hey, Scotty, you got a big day coming up at the doctor's. And he's like, oh, since I'm having a big day, can I get some chocolate chips on my pancakes? And, you know, up to this point in the movie, you're like, oh, this kid has some big event coming up. What's it going to be? Oh, the doctor? Okay, that's kind of weird. And at this point, we've only ever seen this kid sitting down, right?
Yep.
And then when Nick first meets Scotty, it's in the store. Scotty's talking about how he has a pumpkin carving contest coming up, and everyone's like, oh, Nick won that 3 years in a row. And he's like, oh, hey, Nick, can you show me how to win this contest? And he rolls out. he rolls out from behind the counter to reveal he's in a wheelchair that was caused by some sort of accident that also just happened to make his mother a widow as well, so to kind of line up this romance in the movie.
Right. Okay. So you are jumping ahead to some questions I have later, but we'll jump that. We'll jump that ramp when we get there, as all people say all the time. But yeah, up until Scotty's reveal to be in a wheelchair, we only see him sitting down behind a desk or a counter or a table or what have you. But yeah, them legs don't work. And according to the doctor, it's an incomplete spinal injury. So there is a possibility that he could regain the function of his legs. So congratulations to him. Let's see. Question number 5. According to Sam Jones, the warehouse foreman, Nick used to be really good at what niche art? Peyton?
Nick was the best, and he won 3 years in a row at the pumpkin carving competition at what appears to be an elementary school, maybe middle school.
It could be literally anything. Xavier?
Well,
you've already said the answer.
Things. Yeah, several different things though. They any chance they get, they mention how Nick was great at something.
Oh yeah,
when he was
super
younger.
Cool.
He was a star quarterback. He won the pumpkin carving contest. He won several other contests that I think they mentioned at some point in the movie. Yeah, he's just an all-around jack of all trades, master of all trades, whatever you want to call it.
Master of all trades. This guy's a real Mary Sue, if you ask me. Yeah, no, what the answer I have here is he was good at carving pumpkins. It's really weird how many times they say carving pumpkins in this movie, but they don't say jack-o'-lanterns.
I didn't even realize that.
Yeah, so it makes me think that maybe jack-o'-lanterns wasn't allowed for some reason.
Hallmark
I don't know.
Do you think it's like the Hallmark censors? They're
The-
like, this isn't Christmas enough.
Yeah, we can't see jack-o'-lanterns.
Exactly. That's another thing. Like, this is a Christmas movie, but the majority of the movie is not during Christmas.
Because
It's always Christmas at Hats Off to Christmas.
It's the lines
And also,
in the movie.
They didn't want to hint at, obviously it was October. They say that at the very beginning of the movie, and then they have the pumpkin carving contest, but they did not want to mention Halloween at all. Although Scotty's just randomly dressed as a race car driver.
Dang it! You gotta stop doing this! You gotta stop talking so much!
If that was one of your questions, Roger, you gotta probably stick more to the plot.
Listen, bud, there's not a lot of plot for me to ask, okay? I had to milk out 15 questions for this. So, question number 6. Mia is a widow, Scotty is in a wheelchair, and his dad is dead, all for the same reason. Why, and for how long? Peyton?
There was a car accident some odd years ago.
Okay, Xavier?
It was some kind of accident. I don't know if they specify car accident, but I believe it was just a few months prior. Like
So
maybe not quite a year, maybe just slightly over a year.
it was a year and a half exactly. The
Okay.
movie begins, and apparently in October it was 18 months ago, right? So it was specified as a car accident. So
Okay.
yeah, which is why the special race that they do later make me really laugh. I don't know. We'll get there.
Oh my god.
So question number 7. Nick is reintroduced to Valerie Fry. Who is she and what does she do, Peyton?
She is two different problems wrapped up in one. One, she's here to audit the business, which is attacking Hats Off to Christmas. But two, she's also his ex and attacks the relationship he could potentially have with Mia.
Xavier?
Yes, she's some kind of representative of the bank. Not necessarily there to audit them, but I think they do say, "Are you auditing us?" And she's like, "I'm just checking the finances or whatever." But yes, that I'm not sure if she was his ex. I do know at one point he's like, "Yeah, remember her? We went to school together, and I had a crush on her or something." She makes the reference that she's a relationship manager. That's what she is, a relationship manager, because he makes the joke.
There we go.
Do I need one of those? Because I'm single. And then for some reason, despite the fact that there's been no click between the two main characters at this point, Mia gets upset by that remark.
Yeah.
And then we slowly start to see that she might have feelings for this guy.
All right, that's all you're allowed to say, Xavier. Moving forward, so yes, it is revealed that they were exes. Whenever Nick is introducing Valerie to Mia, he says, "We were friends back in the day," and Valerie's like, "We were we're exes. We used to date." So it is confirmed they were exes, or they are exes, I should say. And yeah, she is a relationship manager for the bank, kind of going over their finances to make sure that they don't need to liquidate, right? So, yes. Question number 8. Nick comes over to help Scotty carve his pumpkin for the contest. But when that contest day comes, Nick is super late and is scalded by Mia for giving hope to her son. But the real question is, what was Scotty's Halloween costume, Peyton?
The Halloween costume, that was, I'm pretty sure it was a race car driver.
Okay, all right.
But I do want to note one thing about the pumpkin. They make such a big freaking riot about what the pumpkin is and the reveal of what it looks like. And then it's like the most underwhelming. It looks like what, Santa with a Christmas hat.
They're like,
it's
like,
what is the
don't
point?
look at it. And you assume it's going to be something sweet, like, I don't know, maybe the mom or something, right? Or maybe like an homage to the dad or anything, right? No, it's Santa, and it's got one of the hats from the business on it. Actually, every single thing they do in this movie outside of the store, they incorporate a Santa hat into. So
Yes, it is the staple of the movie, so they got to. They absolutely have to. You're both correct. Oh wait, actually, Xavier answered the question earlier, so I guess whatever.
Oh yeah, the little race, which is kind of fucked up too. Since he was in a car accident or whatever.
Let's see, what question was that? Introduced.
That was 8.
That was okay. Question 9. Mia and Scotty have to work together to build a special scene in the window of the store. Peyton, can you describe that scene for me?
The most underwhelming shop. I don't even know. Like
what are you talking about? This is the greatest idea the owners ever had.
It was like Mrs. Claus holding up stockings. If that sounds underwhelming, that's because it is.
Okay, Xavier, do you want to elaborate?
Close. It's Mrs. Claus hanging the hats that they sell in the store on a clothesline in the cold winter air. So wind's blowing and she's chilly, but she's got to hang up these hats because Black Friday's coming, right? It's a Black Friday display, so this is the best idea they've ever had, and it looks just as dumb as it sounds.
The amount of pride and excitement this old man gets as he's describing this perfect scene to Mia and Nick is astonishing. Just how impressed with himself he is.
I would also like to point out that, like, structurally in the movie, this was the midpoint.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, the moment when there's supposed to be a big turn and reveal, they make a window dressing.
And it
Yes,
doesn't
well,
even
this
look
was actually
that good.
right after the little argument, like Roger said, from the pumpkin carving
Wow.
damn, the pumpkin carving contest. Whenever she's like, "You gave my son hope. Stay away from him. Like, stop, leave us alone." And he's just like, "Okay, I'll be all uptight again." At this point in the movie, as Nick was sort of kind of like loosening up from his like uptight nature, his clothes kind of reflect that. Like, it gets a little more what's the word I'm looking for?
Relaxed,
Literally,
casual.
buttons start to loosen up, and his outfit starts to get more casual, right? And then at this point, he's all uptight again, and he's wearing his full suits again. And then by the end of this little montage, he's got his jacket off, his sleeves are rolled up. Which, by the way, there was a point in the movie earlier where he takes off his dress shirt because it was covered in pumpkin guts, and he's just wearing a normal undershirt. And this turns her on a little bit. She's just like, "Oh, I see your arms for the first time." And here are his arms again. They're making another appearance.
You know what I didn't do?
What's that?
I didn't do a spoiler alert.
Oh, well.
I was actually preparing myself to go, "Woo!"
Oh my god. Well, here, we'll just do
No,
it.
it's okay.
We'll do it now. It's already here in the air. Okay, everybody, if you're interested in watching Hats Off for Christmas, it was made in 2013. If you haven't seen it, you're probably never going to. But spoiler alert, sound the alarm. Peyton, go ahead, give us your best alarm sound.
Whew, whew.
Very good. Now we can move on. Oh, I'm so sorry. Yeah, honestly,
That was amazing.
I didn't even think about spoiler alert for this movie.
Yeah, I don't think anyone listening to this is gonna watch that.
They've
so.
either watched
maybe
it or
Ethan,
they're not going to.
If you see one Hallmark movie, you've seen them all.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Question number 10. Nick helps Scotty with yet another niche competition. What is it and how does it go, Peyton?
Another niche competition. Wasn't that the race car, or am I thinking of something else?
You're correct.
The box car match.
Okay.
Yes,
And
the soapbox derby or whatever the fuck they call those.
Yeah.
For some reason, at Christmas, every Christmas they do it.
Yeah, but they didn't do it when they were kids. This is the one thing Nick didn't win at. They make a point to say that for some reason.
Well, I didn't get to win at this.
Also, like, everything in this movie is just kind of like, oh, this happens, and this happens, or this happens so that this can happen. But like, Nick gives Mia a ride home in his Porsche so that Scotty can see it and be like, "Whoa, I bet that car's fast. Wish my soapbox was that fast." And then Mia the whole time is like, "No, we shouldn't make his car that fast because he's already crippled. So we don't want to make that worse." To which Nick is like, "Oh, don't worry, we're not gonna make it fast. He doesn't need to win at everything. We need to humble the kid because this is the most humble character in the world, right?"
Yes. So yeah, the answer is a soapbox car derby. Now, how does it go?
He gets second place.
Yes, he gets second place because I guess there's only 2 cars at a time, but every round I guess has a first and a second. So
right, which means he was last place. So, I mean,
yeah, and
at least
this was
got
the second round too.
Yeah,
we only get to watch 2 rounds, but I assume there were more.
It was also one turn in the boxcar race.
It was just one turn. So it was a left turn too. So whoever was on the left at the starting line is gonna win.
He's winning.
These things
period.
are moving. Yeah, they're moving at like -2 miles an hour. So
yeah, they're
My favorite shots were the ones where like the music's getting all hyped and they're just like running very like slowly, like they're like jogging, trying to be like, "Oh, guys, let's look at it."
Yeah. No,
yeah,
very
like,
good.
Oh, they're going. Let's get to the other
There was some
side.
pretty goofy music choices in the movie.
Oh yeah,
Oh my god, I was waiting to bring that up.
Yeah, the argument after the pumpkin carving contest, the music shifts so drastically, and it's such bizarre music too. I literally had to mention it the second it happened.
Yeah, it was an audible thing. in the audience.
Hell, they just like pulled stock music and they were like, what emotion is this scene? Okay, hard cut music soundtrack, and then they would use different songs that like had different feels to them, like back to back. It was just
I can only imagine someone who like knows music was going nuts during this movie. So,
and like I mean, this doesn't matter that much, but like all the different songs had different like microphone positions for all the instruments. So like one would have like an ensemble feel, while another one would have like a solo feel, and then they'd be like right back to back, and my brain would just be like, "Whoa, what's going on?"
Yeah, all of our audience that listens to this podcast that are somehow in the Venn diagram of podcasts and orchestra knowledge, they're really gonna like the interaction you just had.
Oh yeah, I'm sure that's a really big demographic. Another thing, talk about more audio. I noticed that they would always probably have like a lav on the main, Mia, but then all the other characters, every once in a while, you'd hear a lot of like noise when they would speak, and that's probably because some like sound editor had to go in and like really just like pick just the audio and then cut everything else out and then add some extra noise and then try to figure things out to balance it out. So good job on the music, the like sound editor. Bad job to the people who recorded audio on set.
Well, the Mia character was the least audible character in the whole movie. Like, it was so hard to hear her talk most of the time, which is
I had to hide a
issue,
microphone like in her hair.
Yeah.
Right. Question number 11. Speaking of auditory problems, Mia overhears Valerie and Nick talking about the easiest way to raise profits. What does she hear, Peyton?
Oh my God. During this scene, I thought something else was going to happen, which would have been equally as bad as what did happen. So she walks up and overhears Nick being like, yeah, we're losing money fast. So we just need to cut benefits from all of our employees. But I'm a family with them. But we have to cut benefits. And what I thought was going to happen was when she left, Nick would continue to go on and be like, but we can't do that. That may be the best plan, but we can't do that. But no, he just really thinks he wants to cut benefits from these people that the movie wants us to believe he's growing close to.
Xavier?
Yeah, I think at this point, he's just kind of like, I need to save this line of credit however I can. So maybe we can cut the health benefits and so on and so forth, which upset Mia, and she ran off. And at first I was just kind of like, well, what does she care if everyone else loses benefits? But then, I was like, oh, that's right. Her son and his medical bills. I don't know how good the benefits are that they can cover such drastic medical costs, but apparently they were so good she had to resign afterwards. So
Xavier! Stop it!
We're already 30 minutes in or close to it, so
You're right. Okay, well let's speed through these last ones. Yes, it was to take away employee benefits and maybe reduce the staff. Question 12. Because of this, Mia cancels their dinner plans. So Nick uses his reservation at the fanciest restaurant in town to take Valerie instead, where she gives him some good news. What's the good news, Peyton?
For no unprompted reason, she's like, yeah, as long as you're a manager, we're going to give you the money, which kind of gets rid of all of the stakes of that entire character.
Correct. Xavier?
Yes. She tells him that they can keep that line of credit and get a small loan so long as he stays on as management.
That is absolutely correct. She offers that the bank will hold the store's line of credit as long as Nick stays in town in a management position. And I guess in this scene, she's also like, oh, you really like Mia, so I'll back the fuck off.
Yeah, she's kind of just like, yeah, who was this reservation for? This is a pretty romantic place, right?
Yeah.
And like the set design is literally just plain walls and like maybe some little Christmas lights around.
Yeah.
But that's the most romantic place in town.
This is the most dimly lit shot in the movie.
Also, it's the only point in the entire movie where I thought it was nighttime, and it fucking wasn't, because it cuts back to Mia, and it's clearly daytime outside.
Yeah. I don't know if they just didn't have a permit to record at night in this special little town, but yeah, there was no nighttime scenes in this movie.
It was literally midday, every single shot of this movie, which I know it takes place in California because we see the flag, right?
Yes, we do.
Like, it must have taken place in Iceland or some shit. Somewhere where the sun never sets.
Yeah. Sorry, that actually made me laugh. The drama is building. Mia writes Mr. Bowers a resignation letter right before Christmas. A bold move. But what is bolder still? Peyton?
What? Sorry. Could you ask that question again?
Mia writes Mr. Bowers a resignation letter right before Christmas. A bold move. But what is bolder still? Specifically, what she does next.
Oh yeah. Doesn't she try to like take like the boring job or something from that one friend and babysitter in the beginning, and she's like, okay, I'll do that. And then doesn't she also like tell Nick to like back off or something again?
We'll see what
Yeah.
Xavier has to say.
I don't think
Yeah.
any of that happens. I think it literally cuts to Mr. Bowers showing Nick that, or telling Nick that Mia resigned, and then be like, oh, we gotta get ready for this Christmas party, and she still shows up for the Christmas party, even though she just resigned.
Okay, yes,
So-
that is
Oh, yeah.
that is my answer. Is even bolder still, she does quit and still shows up to the fucking Christmas party.
Oh my god, I completely forgot about that.
Yes.
That doesn't make any
This
sense.
is the part of
Also-
the movie where Phil falls off the ladder off
Yes.
screen, and Nick is
Which
approached
is-
about being the new Santa Claus.
Yeah, which is literally only. I don't know if this is gonna spoil anything.
Oh,
It's
don't you do
literally
it!
only-
Don't you do it, you motherfucker! That's
only
the next
something-
question.
Go on.
Sorry, it's actually the next question after this one. But at
Yeah.
the party, Mr. Bowers admits to retirement, but also what? Peyton?
He admits. Doesn't he say like, "Oh, my son is going to take over as CEO of this company"?
Yes.
And
There's one more
then-
thing.
There's one more thing.
Xavier, do you want to cover
Oh,
it?
God.
Yeah, so he's like, I'm retiring. So my son's gonna take over as CEO and president, even though he's more suited for a CFO position since he's a money guy. But yeah, he's taking over the whole company, and we just created a new position so that Mia doesn't fucking quit. And she's gonna be our vice president
Oh
Well,
yeah.
vice president of what? Do you remember?
of
Financial operations, I think, or
Sales and marketing.
sales. Yeah, sales and marketing.
something.
Like, fine. And there's no conversation about this. There's
Yeah,
no
she's
conversation.
just like, oh, okay, yeah,
Oh,
I guess
oh.
I'll do that.
She's kind of like smiles, and you're like,
Yeah,
oh,
no-
I fucking guess.
No details about how much it pays or anything like that. So
Right.
It
Hey,
has to pay
we
more
have
than her
one
previous
scene to
position.
wrap up this whole movie.
So speaking of wrapping up this whole movie, before Xavier says anything more, question 15. Scotty, the son, has 2 Christmas wishes that he tells to Santa, who is Nick in disguise. What are his 2 wishes, Peyton?
Yeah, his first wish is to get Mia and Nick together. And he's like, yeah, I'd like my mom to get her boyfriend back. And he's like, what are you talking about? And then his second wish, he's like, well, you can't do it, but I can. And then he just stands up and then immediately sits back down.
Xavier?
shit, I spaced out on the question. What was the question?
What were Scotty's 2 final wishes for Christmas?
Oh, that's right. Yeah. A toy train.
What?
His mom to get laid, and the
Well-
ability to walk.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the question was, what were his 2 wishes? You gave me 3. I'll omit the train
No,
one.
a toy train would have been better than either of those 2 wishes.
You're right. Yes, but the first one was for me to get back with her boyfriend, and there's like a whole like, oh, I didn't know she had a boyfriend.
Yes.
And
so
then-
this whole well, Phil falling off the ladder was literally just so that Nick can hear this kid say this and him
Right.
be like, "Oh well, I tell you what Nick's wish is to bone your mom too." So yeah, let's get that done.
And
Hey, Phil was an important character who went on a very great arc.
what's funny
He
is
had,
they
like,
gave
3
us
lines.
kind of a Chekhov's gun, but it was Chekhov's Phil. He was gonna be like the big, like early in the movie, he's like,
a heart attack.
I
or
gotta
something
keep
from the
eating
line he
donuts
gave.
because I'm Santa every year, and then he falls off a ladder and he can't be Santa, and it was like that. Okay,
Yeah,
that's what
they
you
literally
chose?
set up a health issue. Like
Yeah.
it's something that could have been so dramatic, but he falls off of a ladder, and then they say it's not as bad as it looks. This is just protocol. So
Yeah,
I
No
didn't
real
even
stakes in
hear
this
what they were
movie.
asking him to do in the scene where he walks off. Just the way he walked off, I was like, something's gonna happen to Phil.
And then immediately, Xavier was right. Hit it on the head. Now there is no falling action to this movie. The credits just start to roll.
Yeah,
okay?
After Mia and Nick kiss, it just starts rolling.
We're finally shown a kiss, very vaguely, very almost like they maybe didn't kiss. I'm sure they did, but it was almost like maybe they didn't. Anyway, so the way this normally works is, Peyton, as our guest, it is up to you to set up the beginning of the sequel to Hats Off to Christmas.
All right. So, like I said in the beginning of this movie, they switched the roles of the genders, the typical Hallmark movie. And this already was a subversive masterpiece. But I think we can take it a step further and try to subvert like even more expectations in this new holiday classic, Hats Off to Christmas 2, or maybe we'll come up with a new name later. But I definitely think that we need to open on another like business/relationship issue where it's like there's something that's going to destroy the business, but it's also causing a rift between Mia and Nick. And I think it's going to have to start with, maybe this new job that Mia has taken on is not doing too well. She thought she could work with the regular people, but now she's stuck in offices all day. And at the same time, we have at the end of the movie, they just agree to create a new job position, and B, just give benefits to everybody. And sure, they got a little bit extra on the loan, but like that can't solve a dying business.
Especially because I think Christmas they're gonna is now over.
Yeah, Christmas is over, and they're paying people more. So I definitely think we need to have like the businesses crashing, and Nick and Mia are getting fights about it. And they start to be like, hey, maybe we rushed into this too fast. Maybe this isn't working out for us.
Okay. Xavier, do you have any very specific instances that maybe would drive them apart?
Yeah, Nick is having to fire people because like Peyton said, just creating a new position and giving one person more money doesn't solve everyone else's problems. So the warehouse is thinning out. Sam this time falls from a ladder, and that's the last straw. Mia just doesn't know how she can handle ruining so many people's lives. Now Sam's 3 daughters are depending on the health benefits that Nick still cut because again, making Mia vice president didn't solve shit.
Don't forget that Sam also has another child on the way.
Oh yeah, so his 4 kids are going to be depending on that,
right? And
medical benefit.
They've had to spend a whole new budget on packing peanuts because Nick broke a machine in the first movie.
That thing could not have been cheap.
Flooded the warehouse with packing peanuts.
Wow, overhead is just going to go through the roof. Okay,
right. So this is mostly kind of an economic, employment strife kind of situation where most of their struggles are caused financially, right? Let's throw one more problem in the mix. Something else is happening in their lives.
I'd like to imagine the one lady from before, because I was very disappointed with her role in this movie. So I think Valerie. We need to bring her back. So Valerie.
She leaves to the big city and then comes back as that big city woman. And now Nick is the small town boy that's kind of questioning whether he wants to stick with his small town life or go back to the big city.
Oh my God, yes.
Okay, all right. Now, obviously, there's going to be a lot of build up to, maybe everyone gets their jobs back, or maybe, Nick and Mia have a falling out, and he goes to hang out with Valerie some, or like.
My big question though is Scotty out of the fucking wheelchair, or what's going on?
Well,
I think.
Oh no, you go ahead, Peyton.
I think that he stands up and tries to walk and accidentally pushes himself too much.
Yes,
trying to walk. So he's back in the wheelchair. Yeah, because he pushed himself too much, so now he did extra damage to himself. And that Christmas miracle was actually a Christmas medical problem.
He's in his wheelchair for life now, and Nick is like, oh man, I heard there was a chance he could walk again. That's what I signed up for.
I was really banking on the fact that this kid could walk again.
I would like to imagine, hear me out. This might be a bad idea, but what if Mia is now a side character in a whole new Hallmark movie? and we get to see it from her perspective as her world crumbles down around her, and Nick gets to live the life of his dreams with the big city girl, turning her into a small town girl.
Okay, all right.
So it's kind of like there's a Hallmark movie going on for half of the movie, and that's like shot regularly with the, you know, crappy music that changes and the crappy dialogue. But then we like the camera focuses on Mia more, and the cinematography gets a lot more like grounded and realistic, and it feels like found footage as she's just like trying to escape out of this Hallmark movie.
See,
Holy shit.
I was imagining Nick's struggle. You know, he's like, you know, he had to sell his Porsche, and now he's in a handicap accessible minivan. His whole life is just kind of going down drains. Mia made him sell all of his expensive suits. Now he has to wear flannel every day of his life. His, you know, everything he knew is kind of just out of his life now, and now he's got to focus on Mia and how she's always complaining about all these medical bills, despite the fact that now they're both loaded from this tiny business. And maybe we could just do kind of like a what are those movies where it goes back and forth between like present and past or present future, kind of like Blue Valentine, where you see these characters fall in love, but at the same time you see them fall out of love. But instead we get it from Mia's point of view and Nick's point of view, where Nick is at the bottom at the start of the movie, and he makes his way up, clawing back for that big city life that he always wanted from a childhood, and that's why he left this town in the first place. And Mia starting from the top in her VP position, and then just kind of crumbling as her relationship and her business kind of deteriorate.
Well, that was the most complicated thing I've ever heard. I do think I've never seen the movie that you referenced, but
Blue Valentine.
I'm sure it's easy to watch.
It's it's Ryan Gosling and
Haley Duff.
Yeah, Haley Duff and Ryan. Nick is played by Ryan Gosling in this movie.
And no one brings it up.
Yeah.
That
He's
looks
blonde
different
now, and
yeah.
Okay.
There's a scene where he like screams at the top of his lungs, very dramatically.
Is that a la?
No, that's just something Ryan Gosling does a lot in his movies.
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure if that was a direct reference.
No.
Okay, so we have a lot of hurdles here. Normally we have to go over hurdles kind of in length, but we have a few to choose from. How are things resolved? How does the movie come to how do we wrap things up into a bow?
Divorce.
You know, ultimately, yes, 100%.
No, go on, Peyton.
So ultimately, I would say the core like problems of the entire first movie. At first, you think it might be relationship problems, and you think it might be business problems, or like maybe social issues with like Scotty. But really, I would say capitalism is like the true enemy. She has to work this job that is paying her less and not giving her as much benefits because specifically they've tricked her into thinking it's a family and that everything is Christmas. And I agree. I think she wants to divorce him, Nick, because she realizes what this company is, like what it truly is. Even though it's a small time business, it's still very capitalistic and very Hallmark. And she's like, I need to cut ties with this.
Maybe she's like, maybe it turns into like a horrible bosses situation. She decides she needs
does she try to kill him
in order to liquidate this whole company.
Oh, okay. Okay, you've somehow added another layer.
Well, that's what the first movie was missing, right? Is layers. So
yeah, it was pretty two-dimensional, wasn't it?
We're taking everything that's there and building off of it. Which there's a million things that don't matter. We're making them matter now.
Now that we do not have enough time.
What if Mia and Nick kind of just conspire? They get life insurance for Scotty, and then they decide they need to kill Scotty, run off, and live happily ever after.
Oh no!
One of the ideas I had initially while we were watching this movie was that I wanted to see Scotty as the big city guy that comes back, and he has to teach someone else about the fucking values of Christmas. But I mean, Scotty can just die. I mean, he was literally not that important at all to this movie. His character could have not existed and the movie would have been exactly the same.
I'm actually trying to think of what his character was there for. Just kind of like an anchor.
It was kind of to make a
I think
dilemma for Mia,
right.
because
he was also an excuse.
Yeah, go ahead.
He was also an excuse for Nick to show up and be with.
It was like an
'cause-
excuse for him to be like, okay, I guess I'll put some kind of effort into this. But then it was also an excuse for her to have a reason to be angry at him, because otherwise there wouldn't have been.
Right. Yeah,
also,
Scotty can
I
die.
think-
Let's kill Scotty.
Yeah, I think it was something to like pull at people's heartstrings, but it literally, there was no emotional weight to that character whatsoever. His standing up, I was wondering on my drive to work this morning, do like middle-aged women cry at that scene when they watch this movie for the first time?
You should ask your boss.
Yeah, I should.
So okay, yeah, this makes sense. Like maybe Mia's like having healthcare issues because the company still even now with her high position still is not offering her like good health insurance, and as a result, like Scotty passes away from his like injuries.
Are you
she's
saying
like,
passes
Nick,
away
I
in
can't
quotes?
fucking do this anymore. What? Like like dies. Like he's killed off.
Okay.
Because like in like the hospital or something.
So
like with a pillow over his face? Or...
is it murder or is it just natural?
I want to kill this wheelchair boy.
So maybe he dies. However it may be. Maybe it's another car accident. Maybe he gets into another car accident and that heals him. Right? He can walk again, and then he's in a cliff diving accident and just completely severs his spine and he's dead. Whatever. He's gone, and then Mia realizes like, hey, I have all this money now that I'm not paying for fucking medical bills. Let's live happily ever after. And then her and Nick don't have to get divorced. The real problem in everyone's life, Scotty, is gone, so now they can be like live happily ever after. Not that wheelchair bound children are a problem at all.
No.
I want to make that clear. This kid, I hated his face. I wanted him to die the second he came on screen.
To be fair, this is how Xavier feels about most children, but
Scotty specifically,
definitely...
him and his cheap fucking Hallmark glasses. That kid.
Garbage glasses.
This whole movie looked so cheap. Even the store. The store looks super cheap. They could have literally just rented out any Hallmark store and fucking used that, but no. They just went the cheapest route.
It looks like
so.
They bought,
I
like,
used
a
to
Verizon
do student
store
films.
and just filled it full of Santa hats.
Yes.
What were you saying, Peyton?
So I used to work on a lot of student films in the past. So this movie to me looks like a production designer had like a $0 budget. So they went to Walmart and got everything, but kept the tags on so that they could easily return it for free.
Yeah, that's why it takes place in a store, so they could just leave the tags.
Oh my gosh, what if the store's real? What if somewhere in California there's a Christmas hat store that's open year round and we're knocking it super hardcore?
Yes. Well, they deserve it. They should get a better business model.
They should. Speaking of better business models, do you guys want to hear my 3 pitches that I have for this movie?
Go ahead.
Wait, what was the falling action of this one? They just ride off into the sunset now. Scotty's
they
dead.
moved to Maui, dude.
Okay.
Yeah, Scotty dies.
The credits just start rolling randomly at some
Yeah,
point.
there you
in the
go.
middle of a sentence. It doesn't even matter.
No, wait.
yeah.
They're like at Scotty's funeral, and like she's crying. She's got like tissues up to her eyes, and Nick is holding her close, and she kind of like, wait a minute, I don't have to pay these bills anymore. Credits start rolling. Is this
or just like the way the ads hit on Freevee for some reason? It's in the middle of a sentence and just boom, credits.
Oh, hold on. Before I do my pitches, do we have a name for this movie?
Hats Off 2 with like the number.
Oh my God, Peyton, that's great. That's fantastic.
Perfect.
No matter what the movie is, that's gonna be the title.
Yeah.
Hats
Do
Off
we ever
2
step
Christmas.
foot in Hats Off to Christmas at all in the sequel?
No, absolutely not.
Well, no. Instead, we burn the like company to the ground. Is what happens.
Oh, so they're getting life insurance and property insurance.
Oh, I meant metaphorically, but sure, physically too.
Oh. Okay.
They're just getting as much money as they can out of the insurance companies from this
Hell
business.
yes. Hell yes. Hats off to Christmas. Okay, so I wrote these about 20 minutes before we started the podcast. So
Okay.
Pitch number 1. Nick was married the whole time to a woman back in New York. The sequel follows him as he struggles to balance two lives at once. In the end, everybody dies in a car crash. Pitch number 2. Despite their constant attempts to keep hats off for oh my gosh, what? To keep the hat business afloat, it eventually does get liquidated by Mr. Bowers and sold to the highest bidder. And it turned into a year-round Spirit Halloween, which
Okay.
I feel would make much more money. Pitch number 3. The movie follows the lonesome and only ethnic man in town as he sabotages niche businesses around town.
Oh yeah,
In-
there's actually 3 ethnic people in this movie. But there was one during the first dinner scene that Mia and Nick have together, where they see Sam and then Nick pays for the bill, which I thought was going to end in a fight, but it didn't. It just ended in Sam respecting him more, even though Nick embarrassed him in front of his daughters. But there was just one lonely black guy sitting behind Nia and Nick, and this extra did not know what to do with himself. He
Yep.
was like, oh shit, they didn't give me someone to sit with. I guess I'll just literally stare at the wall. Like, he's just like looking up and down the room, but he's like literally just the wall. He's looking up and down the wall. I'm like, what the fuck is this guy doing?
Well, they don't want him to eat food because if he takes a bite in between takes, then it's
it's a
like,
consistency issue.
yeah.
Yeah. But that guy definitely deserves an entire movie.
Yeah, he needs a movie all to
Yeah.
his own.
But he does not know what Hats Off to Christmas is, the store. The movie ends with him walking into the store and he's like, oh, has this been here the whole time? Boom, credits.
Do you guys sell Christmas hats?
The whole movie, he's looking for a Christmas hat, but he doesn't know where to find it.
I like that movie better.
That's good. That would be a good movie. And everyone's like, it's July. What are you doing?
Eventually,
Okay.
the day before Christmas, he discovers the store.
Oh, it's a Christmas miracle. If only my kids were around to see this. Okay, anyway, okay. So, Peyton, thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, of course.
It was super awesome to finally have you on. The timing of this episode is really wonky. Peyton, you're obviously busy with your job and the school, and apparently finals are going on, and that's a whole mess. So we do appreciate you taking your time to join us here, and we appreciate the music that you've given us. I'm going to say it properly. The leitmotifs that you've given us as quote theme music. Did you want to plug anything so that people can find you?
Yeah, sure. I don't post to social media that much these days, but I'm pretty much PAYTON.PETKUS everywhere. So that's Instagram, TikTok. I think I have a Twitter. I never use it. Yeah.
I know you don't use social media because I have tried contacting you on Instagram.
Yeah.
Well, cool. Yeah, we'll put your if you want to just send those links to me somehow, and I'll link them in the episode.
Cool.
Xavier, do you have any housekeeping that you want to take care of?
Sure. Even if you don't like Hallmark movies, hopefully you enjoyed this episode. We tried to make it as enjoyable as possible. And if you do, go ahead and give us a follow on socials, mainly Instagram. We're part2_pod. I think that's our username for every social that we have currently. So if you want to find us on anything specific, just look that up. We might pop up. On Instagram, we are going to have little clips from this movie. Not that they're going to be very interesting. And we'll have a mock poster for this sequel, which I don't even know what happened in the sequel. We didn't recap it, so I'm just going to have to put random crap together for that poster.
Yeah.
But if you do enjoy listening to us rant about these movies and coming up with stupid ideas, give us a follow, tell a friend about us, and leave a review if you're so inclined. But we really want to grow. We want to keep doing this. And if, you're a listener, you know us personally, you want to, be a part of this podcast, reach out to us however you talk to us normally, and we'll see about getting more people on this show.
Yeah. I also do want to take a personal moment to thank Peyton Petkus for the intro and outro theme that we use in each episode. I really wish he were here to reciprocate that. Thank you, though.
Yeah.
Anyway, thank you everybody so much for listening. I do hope that you had as much fun as we did, or at least maybe even half as much fun as we did. I'll take that. And so thanks again, and we will see you next week on part 2.
The sequel.
Continued.
Very
Give us a lovely
good.
little melody,
Yeah,
Peyton,
Peyton.
to play us out.
Play us out.
A little melody. Ba 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 da ba dum bum ba dum bum.
Wait, no, that's just our melody.
Yeah, that's our melody. Oh, did you not want that?